General Motors announces 2,500 people are going to be without a job in the new year. Second Cup, yeah, that's right, the coffee chain. It's still kicking, but in lots of trouble. And Barrie, their real estate bubble, it's burst. This is the Ken Parkin Real Estate Podcast. Hi, and welcome to the Ken Parkin Real Estate Podcast, where we talk real estate, business, and how it affects you in your everyday life. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. Good Monday morning, this November 26, 2018. Thank you for tuning in. We've had a busy day today. We actually just sat down with the Golfers Academy and we're rolling out a business-to-business interview series where I'm going to sit down with local business owners in the local GTA, basically Mississauga, Oakville, Burlington, Hamilton. And I want to highlight some special businesses that are doing some amazing things, not only for their clients, but in the community, and just highlight people that are running a very good business. And so part of that is to sit down and talk with them, have an educated conversation on their industry, on their business, and to give some perspective to potential clients, people that they may be looking for this type of service or this business. Something that's welcoming, something that people can look at and make an educated decision to want to use this product or service. And so our first sit down was with Jason at the Golfers Academy, and it was a blast. Jason is a natural on camera, and it's going to be a great interview, and I'm looking forward to releasing it and making sure that everybody in the Burlington, Oakville, and surrounding areas has a chance to see how awesome indoor golf is in 2018. If you are a business that is looking to increase your exposure, you want to have a professional interview done on camera with multiple cameras and you're mic'd up and lighting and everything like that, contact me, sold@kenparkin.com. I'd love to come and check out your facility, see if we're a good fit, and talk business with you. That is sold@kenparkin.com. Let's get into today's news. The Canadian press is reporting, and if you haven't heard, you're going to hear about it. It's a big deal. This is a big one. General Motors is going to close its production plant in Oshawa, like all of it, along with 4 facilities in the United States as part of a global reorganization. It's going to see the company focus on electric and autonomous vehicle programs. This is a massive claim, and something that is going to send shockwaves really through the auto industry, not just the auto industry, but all associated businesses. You know, when they take away 2,500 jobs from Canadians in Oshawa, it's not just 2,500 jobs. There's a multitude of companies that support the operations in Oshawa, and those people are going to lose their jobs too. So I don't know how big the fallout's going to be, but the auto manufacturer announced its closures are as part of a sweeping strategy to transform its product line and manufacturing process in order to meet changing demand in the transport industry. And it's a plan the company says it's going to save them about $6 billion by 2020. So next year they're hoping to save $6 billion. Basically, some reports that came out Sunday night about the closure. A person briefed on the matter told the Associated Press that the Oshawa move was just the beginning as GM prepares for the next, this is key, economic downturn. When you see these big companies starting to react, you know we have some things coming on the horizon. Shifting trade agreements under the Trump administration and potential tariffs on imposed or imported automobiles. GM says it will reduce salaried and salaried contract staff by 15%, which includes 25% fewer executives. The $6 billion in savings includes cost reductions of $4.5 billion and lower capital expenditure annually of almost $1.5 billion. This morning, dozens of workers in the Oshawa area woke up and obviously were very, very unhappy. Unifor, which is the union that represents the more than 2,500 workers of the plant, says that it had been told there is no product allocated to the Oshawa plant past December 2019, which they're announcing that they're planning on closing the plant in 2019. Unifor Local 222 shop chairman Greg Moffat said Monday the plant is not closing without the fight of our lives. The Oshawa Assembly Plant employs 2,522 workers. According to GM's website, production began way back in 1953, and in the 80s, the plant employed roughly, get this, 10 times the amount of people. 23,000 people in the 80s worked in Oshawa for GM. There's also shutdowns in Korea and in the U.S., and the Oshawa plant has been producing some of the older models of vehicles. Oshawa is building the previous generation trucks that are very helpful in the crossover period, but they are transitioning to a new period. Ontario Premier Doug Ford, newly elected Premier Doug Ford, says difficult day for Oshawa plant workers, Ontario parts suppliers and their families. The provincial government has begun exploring measures to help with impacted workers, businesses, communities, and the aftermath of this decision, which is going to include a training program to help local workers regain employment as quickly as possible, according to Doug Ford. It's disappointing that GM failed to see and build upon this competitive advantage, Ford said. While the company is entitled to make its own business decisions, I am confident that history is going to prove them wrong. Obviously, no one wants to see jobs end anywhere. And the problem is that if you don't stay competitive and up to date, and we talk about this in the retail space when it comes to companies like Toys R Us, if you fail to evolve, the industry is just going to move past you. And that's why companies like Amazon or Tesla, these companies thrive in these environments because they're creating products that are going to be used for the next 20 or 30 years, where the bigger, more stable automotive companies who have the ability to think forward on this, a lot of them fail to not think forward. They don't, it's not even predicting the future. They're reacting to what's happening instead of being proactive. And it affects a lot of jobs and it affects a lot of people's lives. And as a corporation, I could care less whether they make $1 billion or they make $50 billion. What I care about is the job loss. And to me, that's something that's extremely sad. And hopefully, more industry moves back into Oshawa so that these people can find another job. Some good news coming to Barrie real estate. Barrie real estate. The market is finally stabilizing. A recent study by Century 21 Canada found that the price per square foot, which is a little bit hard to judge, I like that we're getting more into price per square foot. The challenge is it has to be in context, meaning the price per square foot in Barrie isn't going to be the same as the price per square foot in Oakville, just as the price per square foot in Oakville will not be the same as it is in Hamilton. So context is key, but a recent study by Century 21 found that the price per square foot of a detached home in Barrie is around $283 per square foot. According to the study, the most expensive area in Canada was Vancouver, with a price per square foot of, get this, $1,345. And the least expensive was in Moncton for a measly $101. It's been an unpredictable year in housing prices in Ontario, with the price per square foot rising and falling from community to community and even suburb to suburb, said Brian Rushton, Executive Vice President at Century 21 Canada. Ron O'Neill, a realtor at Century 21 in Barrie, sees a trend towards home prices leveling off across the country. Shout out to Ron. Since January 1st, when the new stress test rules have been put in place, the benchmark price of a detached home has basically stabilized. And I can vouch for that here in the local GTA, Oakville and Burlington specifically. Home prices are stagnant now. They're not necessarily going up. and they are not going down. You are, if you price your home competitive to the market, the current market, you will sell your house. But don't try and hit a home run because it's not going to happen. With the new mortgage stress test rules in place, require that mortgage lenders now have to qualify all conventional mortgage using the Bank of Canada's 5-year benchmark rate. Buyers need to qualify not only for the negotiated part of their mortgage, but also the current rate plus 2% or the bank's average 5-year posted rate, whichever one is higher. Meaning if the competitive rate is 3%, add 2% to that, you're qualifying at 5%, even though your rate's only going to be 3%. And it's basically the bank hedging their bets on you and saying if you default, or if if the rates go up a percent or two, you're still qualified and can still afford that house. In October, the average detached home in Barrie sold for $486,000. It was definitely a good time to buy. This is a great time to get in the market, says Ron. He also notes that there's an increase in prices in townhouses and row houses, with prices edging up 2.3%. $100,000 is going to go up about $2,300. Real estate right now is very regional. The closer you get to Toronto, the home prices go up dramatically. And that's kind of true everywhere, with the exception of maybe Oakville. Simcoe County, home prices are going up in Innisfil, Alcona, Bradford. Further north in Orillia Midland, home prices plummeted to about $100,000 less for a detached home, says O'Neill. It's reflective in the proximity to Toronto. I mean, Midland's a little bit out there, I would say, but in relation to Barrie, it's not. The reason being, when you put the stress test rules in place, it curbs the speculators from coming in the market and creating a frenzy. I would agree with that, but not fully agree with that. I don't think speculators are what is driving the market up. I think it's demand, and I think it's a ton of people that are looking to purchase and make a move. The annual survey on data, price per square foot, it gathers and compares sales data from its franchises across Canada, from January to June 30th. The year's survey looks back at 20 years in some markets, back to 1998. Price per square foot in downtown Toronto for a condo rose to $903 this year from $819 from last year. So basically up $100, just about, making Toronto Canada's most second expensive city, behind the Metro Vancouver area, which, if you remember, it was over $1,300 per square foot. Meanwhile, the price per square foot for a detached home in Markham and Richmond Hill fell 24%. Wow. $379 down from $445, while condos in Peterborough rose to $255. I mean, price per square foot again is very hard to judge, but it is a good indicator to be general. I mean, look, prices are going to go up, they're going to go down, and we are done and out of this crazy market that we've been in. And it's going to become more and more difficult to sell your home. It's just straight up how it is. In terms of, if you are not being competitive with the price, you are going to run into problems. It will not sell. Last but not least, do you still drink at Second Cup? Man, I haven't been to Second Cup in forever. I don't even know where is the Second Cup in Burlington? I have no idea. I know there's probably a couple kicking around. Anyways, Second Cup franchisees file a lawsuit against a coffee chain over debt and their ad fund. A group of current and past Second Cup franchisees has filed a lawsuit against the coffee chain. The suit, earlier this month, the Superior Court of Quebec alleges the company misused franchised, advertised funds, reserves, and forced franchisees to acquire debt to fund equipment that failed to boost sales, among other things. I mean, a detailed report wasn't given, but the suit stems from the original claim, one made by Second Cup franchisees, that against the company that 8 other franchisees asked to join. So it was one franchisee that turned into 9. Coffee chain, his lawyer, declined to comment. But there you have it, folks. Retail back in the news. And the challenging thing with franchises, if you are into franchises, if you own one, is you are handcuffed by what the franchise wants you to do. There's just no other way to do it. No other way to operate your business. that can be good or bad. But again, I don't even know where Second Cup is in Burlington, and they've done a horrible job. And you are going to see tens of companies, if not hundreds of companies, go out of business. And it's not, I don't want them to go to business or people lose their jobs, but failure to properly market and have exposure in your business will put you out of market and will put you out of business. And that's not a good thing. So if you are a small business owner listening to this podcast, make sure you are doing things to increase exposure, not decrease. Double and triple down on your advertising and make sure that it's the right advertising in today's market. That is all for this Monday, November 26th. I think I said the 28th at the beginning. If I did, I apologize. It's November 26th. It's a dreary day out. I hope everybody is having a awesome Monday and have a great week. I will be back very, very soon. Thank you for listening to the Ken Parkin Real Estate Podcast. One thing before I leave, I am giving a $50 gift card out. If you're watching on the video, please go to kenparkinrealestate.com. Scroll down a little bit. Ken Parkin Real Estate Facebook page. Scroll down a little bit and you're going to see a video of me talking about the giveaway. It may be a picture by the time you hear this. Click like, comment done, like Ken Parkin Real Estate, the Facebook page, follow it. We put out tons of great content and you're going to be entered into this draw for $50. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the week.